Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the Lands of Alaire, episode 10. Double digits.
Double digits.
Right? Woo! We are super excited to be jumping into the adventure. I am Ian, the Dungeon Master. I'm joined here by my two friends, Tori and Aaron of Joined by Gaming, my younger brother, Tyler, and my older brother, TJ. TJ, what's been up this week?
Well, we had a short week
here
at the Freakopolis Geekery.
Thanksgiving off.
Yes, that was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
But other than that, read some really good comics.
Anything in particular standing out to you this week?
Yes, I read the first trade of the Immortal Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
The new sort of Marvel run of the Hulk.
It's a recent run, yeah.
Yeah. It's that first trade just came out this Wednesday, and it was super, super good. Really, monstrous, scary,
and freaky.
I heard
they took it the horror side of the Hulk.
Absolutely. But yeah, lots of good stuff in there. I'm excited to get the second trade when that eventually premieres.
Nice.
And Red Sun and the first trade of Flavor. So just like I've been reading comics all week. Why the Last Man? I read the second and third volume of that. So I don't know how I fit it all in, but it was all very good.
Too cool. Yeah. Awesome. What about you, Tyler? Anything in particular?
Tearing
it up in Battlefield 5?
I was gonna say, been doing that, and then I was also looking at some, future games that are gonna come out.
Sure.
Mostly just cinematic trailers, so it doesn't really tell you much, but
no.
Some cool stuff that'll be out in a year or two.
Anything in particular standing out to you?
Not right now.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I mean, that's always up there.
No denying that. And what about you guys, Tori and Aaron?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Watched the MST 3K Gauntlet on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So
That's very good.
I've been learning about a new game. Well, it's not a new game, it's a very old game. It's 3,000 years old. It's called Leela.
Leela?
Yeah, it's a Hindu game, and it's used to help you on your path to enlightenment.
Interesting.
And it's essentially shoots and ladders, but it's with arrows and snakes. It's really kind of cool.
Become enlightened via shoots and ladders.
I feel like that's...
Complain about that, yeah. That's awesome. A 3,000-year-old game that inspired games we're still playing today. I love the history of tabletop as well. Anything in particular for you, Aaron, or just playing Hinduism games?
Actually, that's just her. I've been reading a lot of... I'm in the last book of Brandon Sanderson's original Mistborn trilogy.
Mistborn, I've heard quite a bit about that.
Very, very interesting, and I have 200 pages left, and I can't wait to finish it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantasy series?
Yeah. It's very interesting magic system.
I always like a twist on that.
Yeah, I keep up with Coda, if you've been reading that at all.
Have not yet.
Right. You're getting there.
Yeah.
Coda is fantastic. It's a pretty great take on a new fantasy kind of idea. And as for what I've been up to this week, is we finally received our commissioned party art from Dakota Curry, an amazing artist. Really cool stuff, a great detail of the 4 characters that we are growing to learn about and love. And an awesome depiction of Leander, Paladin, Gilroy the Wizard, Melee the Fighter, and Erlon the Barbarian. And we are super proud to finally have that in and have it be a part of the show. And I'm really excited to make some great use of that. But now, you know what these guys look like.
Plus Silas.
As well. Can't forget about him. Yeah. So that is too cool. I'm super pumped to finally have that here. And I think it adds a lot to what you can see in this.
Yeah,
definitely.
You guys ready to jump on in?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
So last week, you guys made your way to River's End, taking a river skiff on down. I called it through the west. It's actually east to River's End. I messed up once there, but I didn't want to give the wrong depiction of your direction. Yeah, you're going to the coast to the east. And you arrived in the city. Making your way in, you found it to be quite an urban sprawl, but also very destitute. Not too much economically going on. In fact, all the shops and high-end areas are pretty much closed down due to the lords and ladies abandoning the city. The Hilltop District, they call that, or the Ringtop. And you guys went instead to the market to supply up. It's just an open space market, and went to a few various stalls to meet some interesting characters, including Frick Frack the Goblin.
And who was the bread guy? Or the butcher?
Alton Dull.
He was awesome, yeah.
He was pretty great, yeah. And you managed to stock up pretty well, finding some interesting and useful items just before bumping into Sevelius himself. who described his plight in River's End, which is that a new member of the Midnight Court has come and begun to establish himself in what Sevelius considers his city. New competition suggests that the Midnight Court is not really a unified thing, it's various chapters of this underground organization who might work together or might work against each other at any one moment, and Sevelius was once again very interested in getting your help with that. Telling you that he had bought you guys some rooms at a very luxurious tavern, the Morning Sun Smile. You guys made your way over there along with the rest of the party, kind of going over the plan simultaneously, to hear that Zorn and Ulrin had gotten into a tussle with the local guard already, and also refunding your rooms just so that you could buy them once again. That was a pretty funny dance. You guys, secured your rooms and found out that one of the men who was aboard the river skiff with you, Merrick Orland, was listening in on your conversations and seemed to be a spy of sorts. Erlon and Leander chased him through the streets, and he just barely managed to evade you guys, escaping into the sewers and sealing them shut with a magic word. Returning back to the tavern, you guys gave the rest of the party that information and decided that you would look into that soon. However, you heard from out back the cries of a familiar half-ogre, Frolthane, who seemed to have gotten himself into a bit of trouble with the local guard as well, who were bothering him and harassing him just for his monstrous disposition, even though you're beginning to think, especially you, Erlon, he's a bit of a noble beast.
Yeah.
He's got a really kind heart to him, despite being a bit of a monster trained for fighting. You guys, with some fancy rope tricks, managed to escape that situation, and then made your way back into the bar for the evening to take some rest and get ready for the days to come in River's End. And I will hop us on over to the bar. I put Erlon and Leander in the double luxury room, and Gilroy had the top one because it had all the books, and Maley got the bottom one because that's what was left.
Nice. So I'm closest to the bar.
And closest to Sevelius's room, that one to the very top north.
Very good.
So as you take to your rooms, you find them to be particularly fine. No surprise that Sevelius would make sure that you had only the most luxurious of spaces. They are warm with smooth stone floors, luxurious carpets, the smell of incense, free wine, reading material, and very comfortable beds, as well as mirrors, which is not particularly common. And as you guys settle in, I'd like everyone to throw a perception check.
Yeah.
11.
11.
10.
Okay.
23.
Was that a natural 20?
That was a 19.
Oh.
Which is a crit.
Nice.
For
Erlon?
attack.
4.
Okay.
Me and Erlon are talking.
Yeah, exactly. However, Maley, you note as you go into that room, when you close the door, all noise outside seems to completely stop. The hustle and bustle of the bar, it seems to not penetrate through this door. And then, as you take note of this and glance about the door, wondering why it would be so good at soundproofing this room, you note that there seem to be some small runes carved into the mantle of the doorways.
I don't see these. So.
You do not, no? Though, you would be the guy to ask.
Yeah.
That definitely intrigues you, for sure.
Trying to decide if I want to leave the door open so I can hear everything, or if I want to. I think I'm gonna go get Gilroy.
Okay.
Check his mantle,
Sure,
see
yeah.
if he also has it in his room.
So you'll make your way on up to Gilroy's room.
Yeah.
And passing on through, Gilroy, actually, do you have your many locks?
Yes. Of course.
You must knock.
Do I hear a knock?
You do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, then you may hear a bunch of clicking and unlatching from the other side, and Gilroy says, interrupted already?
So I'm just gonna go right in.
Sure, just busting in.
Yeah, and we've been sleeping in tents and stuff. I don't really care. And I'm just gonna check and see if the runes.
Yeah, they're there as well. Very similar looking, small, carved into it, into the wood of the mantle. and hardly noticeable. You need a keen eye to even be able to be like, oh, there's some markings there.
Okay, I'm gonna show them to you.
Point them out to Gilroy.
Most curious. Oh my god. Sorry.
The wrong person to go to.
A 13.
A 13? The runes are definitely a localized spell of sorts, and Gilroy, it would not be difficult for you to surmise that it's a silent spell on this door. So it means that any noise from inside isn't going out, and any noise from outside isn't going in, as long as these doors are shut.
Right. Okay. I see. Yeah. Somebody either doesn't want us heard, or doesn't want the rest of the conversations heard. Because, yeah, this is gonna silence these rooms, I guess. Maybe it's just a extra perk?
Do you want to go ask the bartender if it's a perk or if they're even aware of it? I don't think it is.
Well, the bartender may know, but I have a feeling somebody else in particular might have a real good idea.
What is Erwan and Leander doing?
I'm probably unpacking and stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, there's nice chests at the foot of these beds that are very well suited for packing away your armor and whatnot.
Probably just chit-chatting. Probably like talking about that. Probably the pursuit we were on.
Yeah.
But we were pounding through those streets and he somehow managed to get away.
Very swift.
Yeah.
And obviously has some magic abilities, so
Yeah.
you need to keep an eye out.
True.
And Gilroy and Maylee, are you guys going to keep this information to yourselves?
I'm not gonna tell anyone else, but if you can probably take it off the door, because I don't like the idea of someone trying to hide something from us, especially in a room Sevelius picked out for us.
Of course, yeah. Just allow me to prepare the potion.
I think I'll just leave my door open.
So you make your way back down?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the door cracked.
Okay.
Gilroy has no way of
dispelling spell magic.
No. I think I would like to go. I mean, at some point, I'd like to talk to the bartender for sure.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to do in particular, or just still getting set up in these rooms?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably passed by the room, and I'm like, and that was the largest elk I've ever
Right.
taken down.
You get to overhear that, Maylee. Gilroy does not, though eventually he makes his way to the bar, where Darrington Bovin is serving to the remnants of tonight's crowd.
Darrington?
Darrington Bovin. Oi!
Good evening, Darrington.
The rooms.
Oh, really, really nice. I'll have to give my thanks to Sevelius. Is he in?
He is indeed.
Wonderful. And between you and me, is there anything special I should know about those rooms?
Well, the wine's pretty good, that's for certain, but, well, what do you mean by special, exactly?
Well, it was customary in, well, from where I'm from, for something, a small magical thing to be left inside the room from the previous tenant. Is that a thing here in River's End, or?
No, not really a cultural tradition of ours to just give stuff away like that, but, well, you know, Sevelius has owned those rooms for years now. Wouldn't be surprised if he's made his way through them. He doesn't sleep in them ever, but if he left something behind, I don't know what to say.
No, I was just, just wondering if there was anything I should keep an eye out for. Great. Well then, I think I'll head back and, see, I don't know, get settled in.
Gilroy, listen. Sevelius he's a dangerous man. Everyone knows that. But He's a reasonable man. He keeps to his word. I don't want to see you and your folk getting in no trouble with him.
If I had my druthers, we certainly wouldn't either.
You best be careful.
All right, thank you.
You do know, out on the deck, sits Bilberry, smoking away at a small pipe in the evening. It's just passing by.
Yeah, I think if he notices me, I'll nod. If not, I'll keep walking.
No, he's just staring on out into the sky.
But I would like to go to Sevelius' room if I can.
So you make your way on up, and once you pass through the very fine green curtains in front of his room, the two guards that he has, men who are a good 6.5 feet tall, true Northmen.
Right.
They look down with their wooden shields and longsword in hand and go, Sevelius is getting ready for bed. No time for visitors. He expects you in the morning.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, what? What if I could tell you? Sorry.
Go for it.
I'd like to bribe them, is the gist of it.
Okay. Persuasion.
Alright. Hey, that's pretty good. 19.
Okay. Yeah, no, one of them looks down at you and goes, how much you got?
That you're willing to give.
100 gold.
That's pretty good. But it would only get you a few minutes at most.
That's all I need.
Alright. Make your way on through. He holds out his hand.
Chink.
Takes 100 gold in the pouch and he goes, we'll be counting.
I have Silas with me as well.
Okay. You make your way on in, and indeed, standing there, getting ready, is Sevelius. He was setting down his quarterstaff that he uses to assist him in walking. And yeah, definitely he has some night clothes out ready for bed, but isn't in the midst of changing or anything.
Right.
He looks down at you and he goes, Gilroy, what do you need?
Well, I wanted to thank you for the wonderful rooms. I very much appreciate it.
Well, of course. I must show hospitality to my friends when they enter my home.
Wonderful. But I was wondering, I did notice an enchantment on the edge of the door.
Yes.
Is that you're doing?
Another degree of hospitality, indeed.
Just to keep things private for us.
Exactly.
It's a good touch. I very much appreciate it.
I thought you would, Gilroy. It's, well, should be quite private for you.
Yes. Quickly, though, the Midnight Court, I wasn't kidding when I said in the market today that I'm willing to help.
Good. Though, I'm afraid the task that I have for you is, of course, going to require the agreement of the entirety of your party.
Yes, and they're a bit more proud than I am. I think they haven't taken a liking to you just yet. I'm sure you understand you're a polarizing figure.
True, but I believe if you could convince them to at least have an audience with me, I could convince them my well-meaning.
I think I could, but I will need your help.
How so?
Just one thing. Just all it will take is one man, and a nobody really. I have a colleague in Helmtop.
Ah, yes.
Yes, I'm sure you're aware. You seem to be aware of most things. He's below a shrine. There's a large portal under there. He's studying it. I managed to help him, and he promised to put my name on the research. Of course, I took some collateral, as you can understand.
Smart move, Gilroy.
Yes. And I reach into my bag and pull out one of the papers. If one of your men could bring this to him and maybe reinforce the idea that I am to thank for his research, I would be most grateful.
You're asking me for a messenger.
Yes.
It's already done, Gilroy.
Wonderful.
Now, perhaps we should put that note in a lockbox of mine. Something that cannot be opened easily. And he takes the lockbox and opens it before you with no desire to look at what's on the note.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, yeah, I cast it. That's all it takes.
Yes, muttering a quick word, it appears to be a transmutation lockbox of sorts that will seal the lock shut. Very similar magic to, with a keyword, very similar magic to the gate closing, or the grate in the sewers.
Right.
And he goes, it should be safe this way, Gilroy.
I
Not I nor my messenger will be able to take note of it until it gets to your companion.
place the note in there.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sevelius. I
course,
appreciate your
Gilroy.
time, and I will attempt to sway my friends.
Very well. I look forward to their audience. I believe that we can truly establish something great here. And it is at this moment that one of the guards peers in. He goes, "Time's up!" And Sevelius looks at you and he goes, "Time's up."
Yeah, your man threatened me on the way in.
He hands you a pouch of coin. And he goes, "This should make up for it, I imagine. Shouldn't have been that much trouble." And he looks out at his guard. He was kind of just backing away.
Okay. And I'll take my leave and I'll go back to my room
Okay.
and lock it up and do my nightly stuff without making too much of a fuss over that.
All right.
Unless you have something.
There's a good 7 platinum in that bag, so you're actually net positive on that.
Okay.
Do you guys like to do anything more through the night?
No, I think rest.
Alright.
You know.
So you rest up, study the prayer book and clean the weaponry and all that it takes. The general maintenance, knowing that tomorrow should be quite eventful.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly throw a perception check in the middle of the night. No,
7.
A 7. All right.
Is that a natural
I'm
one?
asleep.
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
I think it was 3 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You sleep through the night, and the beds are super comfortable. You guys are having a great time with it. Though, when you awake in the morning to the sunlight, one of Sevelius's guards appears to be at the end of your hallway to your rooms, and as you peer out, you're not going to hear him, and he knows you're not going to hear him, but he expected you to be awake at a certain time. And as you guys peer on out, the first of you to awaken, which would probably be either Leander, Erlon, or Melee, it calls down to you, and he goes, "Sevelius, he's waiting on you."
Great.
Yeah.
You know,
Grab our
I was
stuff.
gonna say, grab what we need for a. I guess not a day of travel anymore. We're gonna be sticking in River's End for a while.
Yes. You collect
But
up
yeah,
your
getting ready
adventure
for
things.
it. Yeah.
All group on up and make your way to Sevelius's room.
Morning. How'd everyone sleep?
Very well.
Good, yeah.
Beds are a little too soft for my taste, but
I could have imagined that.
You guys enter the large, luxurious room of Sevelius. Entering this room, you note there's a beautifully carved stone hearth, as well as the fur of a dire bear that is flayed across the ground. And Sevelius turns towards you. He's actually waiting by his kind of coffee table over there, leaning up against the couch, and he goes, "Welcome, friends, welcome. I hope you found your night's stay here restful."
Absolutely, it seems to be a very nice inn.
Yes, it's quite reputable. That's why I enjoy spending my time here.
And the bartender, he speaks quite highly of you.
We've known each other for some years, and I believe that it's been mutually beneficial. Ah, well, I hope at least Gilroy had a good evening. The rest of you seem to have doubled up on my expenses somehow. Now then, would you like to go straight to business or a morning drink?
No drink for me.
I don't drink, sorry.
Well, I thought there would be some excitement at least. Well, seems we have use for one another once again. And I feel as though through this we'll have established a very strong bond. An agreement that ties us together in one way or another. There is another member of the court in River's End, as I'm sure you've heard. Balrin the Brash. A young human. And he has taken to employing monsters in more ways than one. Deep beneath the streets, subterfuge and sabotage, stealing and destroying without any consideration of his actions. Now, you know I'm no saint, but I certainly won't permit this chaos in my city. Also, seeing as it may mean something to you personally, I've been informed that he is arming and funding large swaths of the true Sarin. Now, they made a similar proposition to me, I'll be honest. And though the gold was good, well, perhaps you may find that old Sevelius has actual cares for his people and his home.
Perhaps, or you just didn't want to be on our bad side when we found out.
True. Throughout your time in River's End, you may find a few missteps and mistakes that I've taken throughout the years, and it may portray me in a negative light, but all in all, Leander, you may find me to be more just than many in this city.
I'm sure you've done some good, Sevelius.
And I won't deny I've done some evil. But perhaps we can balance the scales together. I wouldn't entrust you with any work that I think thought would push you too far.
What would you like us to do, Sevelius?
You are more than proficient at delving into vile places, I found out. And so I entrust this request to you. I happen to be in possession of the password to enter those sewers. Old dwarvish magics. The keyword is Arunar Askudar. Make your way in there. Be rid of Balrin for me. And I believe there would be a good pay, a sum of 2,400 for ridding me of this competition. Also, you'll find that Midnight Court hideouts are well stocked in valuable items. Feel free to take as many as you please.
I think it would be beneficial for us to do this, just in terms of our own, I guess, our own interests to rid Balrin the Brash, but I suppose we'll talk about it at a later date. But perhaps you could tell me, monsters? What type of beasts is he hiring?
Well, funnily enough, you may find that local kobolds are more negotiable than you would think. They too like shiny things.
I don't think we'll have much problem then.
Kobolds, farm boys. No.
Alright.
You'd be quite crafty. I'd be cautious. So, don't let me rain on your parade.
It'll be quite
if you think it's easy gold, by all means.
Well, if it means you owe us something.
No. I think that we may grow to have a relationship where you may find many of my resources useful. I have lumber projects in the far west. That means that I have a good amount of boats you may make use of someday, or fortresses, or all sorts of investments.
We'll be in contact, Sevelius.
You say that every time, Leander, and then I find you.
And this will protect the innocence of this place?
Your actions? I believe so. At least in that you would be permitting me to protect more of the innocents in this place. And I do my best.
One last question, Sevelius, on my part. Do you have any connection with the town guard?
Oh, of course some of them are in my pocket, but if I took too much influence from the Jarl, that could be problematic. So you must have a face of power, and then you must have true power.
Okay, well, I think we're done here then.
Very well. You guys leave?
Yeah.
Alright, make your way on out.
Maybe Sevelius isn't as bad as we originally thought him.
I must admit, I expected more objections.
Before this, however, as you guys reach the door, Sevelius turns towards you once more, and he goes, one final note before you go. You'd best make your way to the market quickly. I'm told there's going to be a hanging soon, and I think it's best you attend.
That was ominous.
Very vague.
Yeah, I think Leander just kind of furrows his brow at that, not quite sure what that could mean.
That's how it is with Sevelius, though. He never gives us all the information. I don't...
Yeah. Whereas,
Wait, who caused trouble?
I mean, there's always Prolthane and
Yeah.
Martin.
Do you think they have a strong enough rope for
No,
you?
definitely not. I was about to ask where's, Rena
And Bilberry. And
yeah. Well,
He was in
Burberry's
trouble.
on the...
Yeah, he's remained going on back out to the port.
Zorn.
Well, there's
Zorn,
always
that's
the
true.
pickpocket, too, if it was just the kid. I think we're less attached to him than Zorn, but...
Yes. Much less
You guys
into
making this discussion as you make your way to the market?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Sevelius hooked you in with that. How are we looking map side? Is this looking good? Or are we still having any issues with that before we jump? Just making sure that we actually
I think it looks good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Alright, so you guys.
No.
You see?
Yeah.
You leave the Morning Sun Smile and swiftly during that conversation make your way uphill, deeper into the winding streets and rotting buildings towards the Hilltop Market. This early in the day, many of the folks are just beginning to gather and ready their stalls, and a few of the children play in a nearby puddle. Ahead you can see a large crowd gathering about the gallows, folks of all different social standings, though generally human. Olerin Gray is at the edge of the crowd and seems to be glancing about frantically when he finally locks eyes with you, making your way north towards him. He runs up to you, splashing his boots through the puddles. He goes, Farrenwellians, they stole Zorn in the middle of the night. Most of us completely missed it. They're accusing him of being a demon spawn, or he can't even defend himself. Look! And atop the gallows, the Farrenwellian captain addresses the crowd standing next to Zorn, who has been made to kneel with a leather sack over his head.
The Farrenwellians did this?
They have. They stole in the middle of the night. Not even the town guard.
I took a study in law, as every paladin did, but...
Going about this legally?
Yes! I'll go up there, but if anything turns south, I trust in you two to at least free Zorn, Erlon.
I don't
Just have my
know.
back.
Because I was a soldier for Farrenwell, do I have any sway over anyone
You didn't have
here?
ranking high enough to be able to
I
command
didn't
them.
think
Yeah,
so.
definitely crosses your mind.
Okay.
As maybe
Maybe I should
no,
have
but
stayed.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Are you gonna make your way up, Leander?
I think Leander probably pushes through the crowd, he's probably got his cloak on because it's like a day thing. He's
Sure.
not quite traveling.
You guys following, or just kind of keeping back a bit, or?
I'll
I move
wait
right
in the
up
back.
to the front because I want to hear
Sure.
exactly what his crimes are.
I want
Yeah.
to be in the back of the crowd, not as far back as we are now.
All right, I'll throw you guys into a bit of some positioning here. You guys make it about this far into the crowd. Gilroy, move you up a little bit, and Olerin will be hanging at the edge. He's got his hand on the hilt of his sword. He's pretty much ready to go for this, but definitely waiting on your call as to how to handle it. And as you approach, the voice of the Farinwellian captain, a gruff commander, begins to ring out clear. Men of the North, gaze upon your true enemy, practitioners of foul arts, foreigners from distant lands, demonic corruption flowing through their veins. Let it be known, by decree of the King of Kings, our Lord Sevelius Caldenin, we will keep you safe from this invasion. Only last night did this creature bring harm to your guard, and already we are bringing him to justice. The sentence for his transgressions is death, in the name of all good and just gods, from all reaches of life. And that's about when you guys are, we gotta go fast!
Yeah, and I think as Leander pushes through the crowd, he probably yells out something, what are his crimes?
The power of demons flows within him.
Perhaps I could check.
Throw persuasion. The crowd, notably, some of them are excited for a hanging. Some of them are a bit more reluctant. Frick the Goblin, in particular, doesn't seem to like what he's seeing there. The rest of them are either just it's a note of interest or they actually enjoy attending these. What'd you roll?
11.
11. And you? You, a foreigner?
I'm actually from Farinwell, but more importantly, I'm a follower of Torm.
Well, Torm has already decreed his punishment. It came from our Lord's decrees. His laws, and this is his land.
I was like, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, Erlon, you can move on up.
Everybody give a chance at
Yeah.
saving this guy from a hanging.
So I immediately am like, he's saved more lives of Northmen than you'll ever know. Yes, I fought with him on the field of battle. He's a noble man.
And you, a barbarian from the west. You seem to feel as though you have jurisdiction above the King of Kings. His laws stand firm in River's End.
This was my people's land long before your king decided he wanted to overstep his reach.
Throw just a general charisma check, as you note that some of the men standing around here are town guard who may very well be loyal to, real Sarengar instead of Farinwell.
13?
13 total?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the folks start moving forward and bustling, and no one's exactly, throwing rotten tomatoes yet or anything, but there seems to be some questioning, like, can you prove this? Is he really a monster? Take the bag off his head, that kind of stuff.
So he's kneeling.
He is kneeling, yes, he's in the position to be.
Alright.
A rope appears.
No. Alright. I will prepare a spell, I guess.
Okay.
Just in case. If he begins to drop, I'll enlarge him. so that he can just reach the ground.
Okay, we'll see if it
Are
works.
you sure you don't want to shrink him so that he slips out of the noose?
I don't know if that would work. Maybe, although I see that if his neck gets larger,
it'll just choke him out.
Before anything else happens, can I shout actually over to Leander Leander, you've made people see and say the truth before. I believe now is the most important time.
You want me to cast Zone of Truth on
the area?
Yeah.
But I feel like the guy probably... Can I hear them how far back
Yeah,
I am?
no, yeah, you can absolutely.
I feel like he probably honestly believes it, so it'll still be his truth.
Right.
I think it'll be a waste of a spell. I want to start a riot, but I don't know how.
Mainly, you could just run up behind these people and start yelling about how this is unjust and, this isn't the way that things are in the North and really just trying to rile them up.
Yeah, I'm more human. They might listen to me.
Sure, alright, yeah. No, okay, so just roll a charisma or persuasion, whatever you're relatively proficient in.
Neither.
Alright, then.
13.
13?
14? Oh, no, 13.
Yeah.
It's not quite enough to rise people to action, exactly, though more and more of these folks seem to be questioning if this is the right thing to do. Only the ones that enjoy watching hangings anymore seem to be just kind of sitting around on this. The rest of them are beginning to move forward towards the gallows and towards these Farinwellians, and nearly pushing into their shields now. They go, "This isn't right! What? How can we do this to our own people? And so what if he's a foreigner?" And, just so on and so forth, making various claims and adjustments to the story, essentially. And the Farinwellian captain goes, "The decree is death by the law." And he puts his hand on the lever.
I think
Your
Leander...
death.
Your death, goes Erlon, as he pulls out his greatsword.
I think Leander had probably turned away. He probably didn't notice that. I think Leander tries to walk. He walks up to the first step of the stairs and turns around towards the crowd, and says something along the lines of, "The way I see it, the only crime this man has committed is being a half-breed. He was a hero at Nold. He saved thousands." Maybe not thousands, but dozens of lives.
Maybe, what would it be? Indirectly.
Yeah, the same
thousands. Okay. They're certainly throw a persuasion at advantage, because they're already willing to listen to someone else.
Leander can be persuasive. 23.
Okay, with Erlon and those words, many of the town guard around you, who are true Sarangarians, unsheath their longswords and begin to take steps up. And the Farinwellian that was right next to you, just a regular soldier, takes a few steps back along with his partner, as you grit your teeth and obviously make it known that this will be the end of these people if they go through with this. However, the captain pulls the lever. So now you enlarge them. That's the plan.
I thought Melee would shoot an arrow, break the rope.
She could do that.
That makes it interesting, too.
She's got
You
sharp.
already have it ready, but are you shrinking or are you enlarging? I'm interested before I go ahead.
I don't know what the logistics would be.
Yeah.
I don't know how nooses work.
I think smaller is probably better. I want to head
feel
towards
like-
Zorn so I can
I feel like it'll still catch him, so I'm gonna enlarge him
Okay.
and hope that his feet hit the ground and he's not just like dangling.
So it would be like a 10-foot gallows at least. He would enlarge to like about 10 feet tall. So he's pretty much able to keep his toe tips on the ground. He will live longer than if he just drops straight up. And he is significantly larger. However, he's definitely still grasping at his neck and trying to
He's
stay
also
alive.
stronger.
Yes, he may very well be able to snap out of the ropes. Melee, do you want to take a shot before
Yeah,
this
I
gets
do.
crazy? Like, okay.
Yeah.
So.
I think I'll say, cut him down!
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, that'll...
Yeah. So 20. I did sharpshooter, so
27?
Yeah, 20.
27, yes. That
No, I
will
did,
roll.
I did sharpshooter.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
still
20.
24.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. Yes, it still hits. Throw your
Damn.
damage.
That's awesome.
19.
19 will cut him roll for sure. Yeah, it snaps. Zorn immediately rips it off, gasping for air for a
It's
moment.
huge.
And then he's very lucky. He has to crouch underneath the structure of these gallows, and then slams his hand into the dirt, and a great fog cloud begins to emanate from underneath the gallows. Are you guys going to fight this out, or are you going to attempt to escape?
Trying to convince them he wasn't.
Can I see
But that's
him?
okay.
Can I see the captain in the...
Yeah, he's on top of it. It would take a few seconds at least for it to envelop around and get to the captain, so...
Can I use my Mask of the Wild to try to
Sneak up
through the
on
dirt? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, through your stealth. Also, due to just the commotion of the crowd, now that, for one, the noose is snapped, there's spells being cast, they begin running away. So I'll give you advantage on that due to the cover, and just the fact that the crowd is going nuts as well.
Gotcha. Oop. I mean, I'll take it. So that is... Sorry. 18.
18, alright. Let me throw a perception on his part. Natural 1!
He's too freaked out by it.
He is just glancing about, completely freaked out that what has happened in these split seconds. And you make your way right up on next to him if you'd like.
Yeah. So, I just say, this is your last chance. Get out now. And I kick him off the gallows.
Okay. He lands in the mud amongst his men, down on the gallows, on his knees for a moment. He glances up, wipes his breastplate off, and then gets up and sprints out of the market. Along with his men. Zorn, peering up, he peeks over the side. He goes, "We've got to get out of here. Follow me." And him, Olerin, and you guys, if you are following him, probably no point in cleaning up these dudes.
Yeah, sure.
You guys make your way to just a side alley, a safe space for you to be able to take a breather. And Zorn, breathing heavily, looks towards you and he goes, "I should have told you. Things did not go so well last night upon our arrival. And before we even made it to the tavern, I was being assaulted by the town guard, and I could not hold back. I burnt him badly. News spread. In the night, they came and took me. I feel we're wanted already."
Well, we'll have to be more careful, Zorn.
We may have a place for you to hide out.
That's so.
Yes, we are headed to the sewers.
Ooh.
Not saying you have to join us in cleaning it out, but it's...
After we do,
We also know how to lock them into place in case they're trapped.
very true.
It could be very beneficial for our entire group. It sounds.
Yes. More importantly, though, I'm glad no one was killed there.
Likewise.
Good shooting, melee, and I don't know what you said to that town guard captain, Erlon, but
He bolted.
yeah, he was running for his life.
I let him know that the north is for Northmen.
Zorn shakes his head and he goes, "So difficult to stay under control sometimes. With the knowledge I have, the oppression I faced, you must forgive me, friends."
It is understandable, Zorn. I'm sure you were very brave, as always.
Well, I'll gather Olerin, Bilberry, and, well, it seems we may need to hide out once again. Shaking his head, he goes, "One more time, thank you, friends. I truly appreciate it. I will not forget this day."
He's still giant.
He's crouching down.
I was wondering why you were laughing.
Yeah.
Your honor will never be lost upon us, Zorn.
I appreciate it. And with that, he makes his way up, first towards the Morning Sun Smile, but notably towards the stables of that area, where he'll be able to stay safe, relatively, after waiting to become normal size once again, along with Olerin, and he makes his way over towards the tavern, where they group up and attempt to find a place to lay low, until you give them another place to lay low. And are you guys going to make your way towards the sewers?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you make your way to the bustling docks, where Merrick Orland barely managed to evade your grasp, and approach the magically sealed grate. The sewer smells awful, for the first few moments at least, but you quickly adjust. What are you guys gonna do? There's before you a sealed sewer grate.
I suppose I'll walk up to it, give the keyword, Erunar Askudar.
I I believe it was Askunar.
Oh, Askunar.
It works. Close enough. And you may, if you're towards the front of the group, particularly you, Gilroy, a small runic flash in the upper left corner of the decrepit sewer walls. You press forward, deeper into the slick, algae-coated tunnels. The floor is a half-pipe of rusted iron. The walls are smooth, slippery stone and earth. Your lights shine against the wet walls, illuminating a nearly sparkling path forward. Eventually, you reach an intersection, the slick algae-coated tunnels. The floor is eventually, you reach an intersection. My bad, got completely mixed up there. And I need a survival, perception, investigation, whichever you prefer.
Investigation.
Survival.
20.
Nice.
Non-natural.
Perception, right? I can do.
Yeah.
23.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
13.
Wow, you all did very well. Beat my DCs anyway. There are small scratches along the walls and floors, you note, Leander. And Gilroy, your knowledge of just general monsters and the fact that Sevelius had forewarned you about kobolds, those are kobold scratches, almost no doubt. Then mainly, you looking down into some of them just muddier areas of this space, there are larger boot prints, and one that looks particularly like a hoof.
I'm gonna point them out to Erlon.
Okay.
You might recognize the hoof more than the rest of us would.
You're gonna attempt to specifically identify that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna get down on the ground and try to see if I can smell a track or find some hair or
Sure.
And examine the footprint.
That would be.
Also,
Let's go with nature or survival. We'll do on that one.
we'll do nature.
Okay.
17.
17, definitely a large bull's hoof, but if you were to take a guess, it's probably a minotaur of sorts. They have a tendency to enjoy windy spaces like this, very tight corridors, and it would be naturally a member of the Midnight Court would make good use of their environment and sewers.
Are they local to Sarangar, or are they from more exotic?
They tend to find themselves in urban areas in Alaire. They make their way to sewers. That's just where they do best. A lot of the older ruins are held by much more powerful ancient beings. Minotaurs as a race have become much more urban.
Okay. Cool.
That's not exactly common knowledge, but you know you've heard myths of minotaurs more than enough to be able to put two and two together.
Yeah. So I relay all that to everybody. I believe there's a minotaur with these kobolds. I've never encountered one personally, but I know they are strong fighters.
Most interesting.
Now, are these sewers are not? They're kind of dried out, not necessarily currently
These ones up
used.
here, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll pull out my ever-burning torch and
Alright.
say, lead the way, Leander. Or whoever.
Left or right?
Fearless leader.
Take your pick.
Let's go left.
Alrighty.
Lead the way, Erlon.
If I must.
You guys make your way up to that turn. Where you see before you, down the way, just barely in the darkness, a kobold who leaps into this hole here, which is like an elevated well. Like the water would run around it, a brickwork well, that he leaps into, and then you hear him scurrying through pipes.
Great.
Maybe we should have had the drop on him. Melee, you might want to go first before we fall into a trap. We know how well we do in these situations.
Say, aren't you the best equipped for?
That is fair.
You don't even have boots on.
And I do have danger sense, so
Alright.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'll make your
Nice.
way on up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk on up to that well-esque space, and looking down, you can hear a good amount of skittering and scratching. No doubt kobolds who are making their way through this small pipe. It's suitable enough for you to enter. Throw a perception check for me as you lean in and try and listen more closely.
Natural 20.
Nice! You hear what sounds like humans talking to each other further down that way. They seem to be talking in a hushed tone, but it reverberates through the pipes and into your ears, and it's more than clear enough that that is not kobold speech, nor is that the huffing and puffing of a minotaur. That's some kind of humanoid.
So I just look back to the group and I do like the 2 fingers, like.
Sure. Oh, also a natural 20 would let you know, this smells gaseous. Like a open flame would be bad news in this particular pipe.
Okay. So I relay that to Gilroy, be like, maybe no flames here. This gas is very, very flammable, and there are, I hear humans talking below, not the kobold that dropped in that way, and not the minotaur.
Well, we were tasked with cleaning this place out, right?
Correct. Maybe we should advance to the front more. Maybe we should advance to the front and at least, if we decide to go down, not get pinned on the ladder.
You don't know who's down there.
Melee is very apprehensive to go with that at all.
Plus, with the fire being launched up here, I'm afraid that we would combust right here, and it wouldn't travel downward.
I suppose.
So you guys intend to make your way around the well and forward more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the ever-burning torch is like, it won't light fires, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a heated fire.
Just firebolt will.
I felt like you kind of wanted to take the easy route into cleaning this.
You come up to this intersection here and
Have you ever met somebody nice in a sewer?
That's
Like,
Anthony Hopwood.
That's true. We have made friends with him.
To the north and south, you find those gates to be quite rusted.
Gotcha.
Clearly,
Okay.
clearly shut.
So right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
You continue along.
I suppose so.
Alright. And as you make your way forward, you are jumped by kobolds. Throw your initiative.
Not that scary.
No. Yoroi.
11.
Ooh. Melee.
11.
She goes
Erlon.
first.
13.
Leander.
15.
And Kobold 17.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so the kobolds, there are 4 of them equipped with small spears. 3 of them run on out, straight towards you, Erlon. And they are going to jab at you with those spears, with pack tactics. Moving about and skittering across and over one another. You find them difficult to get a pin on. And first one's going to be a 14.
Nope.
No. That one's a 17. And that's a 16. And a 15.
They all hit.
So those 3 hit?
Yep.
They're going to be doing not much. 11 points of damage as they all stab on Indian.
Cursed vermin.
This one moves on up. These things were very much so ready for an ambush, and notably, makeshift spears, but small leather breastplate that they wear that is marked with a familiar black-looking manticore.
Right.
Which will bring us to Leander. Leander, this tunnel is large enough for you to squeeze on up.
Yeah, I'll move up next to Erlon,
Okay?
and I'll take a swing at one of them.
Go for it.
See how much health these guys have. 13 to hit.
Ooh. They are swift.
Wow. 16.
Yes. No more swift than that.
For 12 damage.
Dead.
Right.
Brings us to Erlon.
Yeah, so I call out, Walther, help me eradicate these vermin.
He appears as a mist next to you. Let us see it then.
And I bring my first strike down on the one directly in front of me.
Alright.
That is 18.
Yes. And small little nipping lizard men. Well, kind of dragon men, but minus the wings.
15 damage.
Dead. Over dead. You chopped that one's head off.
And then I strike the one adjacent.
Yep.
And that is 23.
Yes.
And that is 16.
16.
Double dead.
Yep. Which is going to bring us to Gilroy. Gilroy.
Melee first.
Yes, alright. It put you there.
Yeah.
Boom. Melee. There's one there, eyes wide, as all of its companions have been completely cut down.
I'm going to use the sharpshooter and
Okay.
go through Leander and Erlon, just kind of push past.
Alright, no problem.
16.
Yes. And he's very dead.
19.
19 damage. Thunk. Yeah, right through the eyes. However, I need you guys, Erlon, you get advantage. Leander, you do not. Gilroy, you do not. Melee, you do not. Dexterity saving throw.
No. 3.
7.
21.
17.
Okay, Erlon and Melee, you manage to dash back. Leander and Gilroy, you get hit with a large blast of steam from a nearby pipe. Some sneaking kobold must have set off this manual trap on you. You're going to be taking... You guys are going to be taking 9 points of damage who failed, and those who succeeded will be taking 5. However, it seems to be pretty quiet past that. No more kobolds skidding around on this level. You do have the well.
Well, I think I'll, first of all, lay on hands to Erlon and Gilroy.
Okay.
So I'll give them back. I think, Erlon, you need 11, or 15, 16 now.
Yeah.
So I'll give you 16, and you needed 9. So I'll give you back 9. That's all my lay on hands.
That's the lay on hands.
Thank you, my friend.
Of course. Now then, more troublesome kobolds.
I suggest we be more careful.
Yes.
I can try to scout ahead and keep on guard.
Well, there's no more on this level, right? We're going to have to go.
You can go further. It seems like this tunnel continues along down into the darkness, or there is the well.
Well, we certainly know there's some behind us.
Mm-hmm. Well,
At least one.
Yeah.
But that's closed at the end there, right?
Well, there's up and down.
Yeah.
You can take a peek.
Yeah, we can at least eliminate these as possible flanks.
So you're going to check up and down those side passages?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like... They eventually go to brick walls down the way. Or there's just too many iron gates for you to imagine, rusted and ancient, for you to imagine them being effective flanking routes.
I suppose the well is,
Can we try and be stealthy climbing down it? Since we know that there's minotaur tracks and humans and...
I'll take off my boots.
Sure we can, Melee.
Sure.
That was a cool switcheroo.
Oh, yes.
you did there.
So the whole party gazing down into the well. Who's going first? Or how would you like to handle this, I suppose?
Erlon, then...
Well, I have an idea. I don't want to speak out of turn, but maybe Silas can do a little scouting for us.
Yeah, I think we could manage that.
Okay.
I'll send him down.
He is the quietest of us all.
He floats on down, one eye looking up, one eye looking down a south tunnel, and one looking up a north tunnel.
Freaky.
Yeah.
And it seems like down the way, I'm going to just put Gilroy on top of this. He doesn't have particularly good vision, but it seems like down the way, south, there's a small party of kobolds that seem to be scrounging a former storeroom for scraps of food. They're led by an older-looking gray-scaled kobold who's wielding a feather-covered quarterstaff. To the north, you can hear a good bit of scritching and scratching, but he does not... it bends to the left at the end of the tunnel, so you can't see exactly where it goes. The tunnel is about 4 feet around, so large things could squeeze through it. It's not particularly comfortable.
Yes, more kobolds, as you might imagine. I think I could take care of them.
Up to you, Gilroy.
You
Silas is
recall
your friend.
Silas? or-
Yes.
Okay, so he floats on back out. A bit
And,
dirtier.
stand back, everyone.
I'm gonna go take cover back behind where that gate is.
Okay, so you're like
If
heading
I-
over back this way?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's gonna do some fiery.
Okay.
I don't like this plan, but whatever.
I will. Just a firebolt.
Just a firebolt?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be rolling some dexterity saves, but you do as well.
Okay. Oh, shit. 4. I actually reached my hand down into the hole.
You hear the screams of a few kobolds. You are going to be taken. 14 points of damage as the flame bursts out of the well with a huge concussive blast.
Gilroy, what
Singeing
did I
your
tell you?
eyebrows badly.
It's a good thing I don't have any hair on my head.
I come out with one of our potions of healing.
Okay. Walk on up to... Yeah, it pretty much blasted him back to, like, sitting on the ground.
Potion of healing is 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Alright, 8.
Nice. Alright. What are you guys gonna do?
Suppose,
I'll go down first.
sure.
No hiding now.
True, it wasn't the most stealthy.
So, Erlen,
Plan.
which way would you like to head? South or north?
I would like to head south, just so
Okay.
we can eliminate that.
You
side.
see those guys there, you might as well roll initiative then. However, I will let you get a bit of the jump on them and make it all the way up here.
Okay.
Because they are recovering from quite the bad burns. Ooh.
Didn't take any damage?
One of them died, so...
Kobolds are,
Uh,
stealthy.
Erlon.
20.
Dexterous.
was my-
Dexterous, yeah.
Yeah.
Melee.
14.
14. Leander.
4.
4. Gilroy.
13.
13.
It's hard for you to move.
It is,
tunnels
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Boom.
Better with big
That's kobolds
caves
first.
rather than
With a 21.
small.
Wow.
Yep, I know it. This kobold is going to dash underneath this table and run on up to you with a spear. He's going to miss atrociously. This kobold back here is going to summon forth some familiar-looking arcane darts that he blasts in your direction. Oh, landed on my leg. A D4. You're going to be taking 10 points of damage as 3 forceful darts blast into you. Which brings it to Erlon's turn.
Alright.
More nuisances.
So I am going to run past this guy.
Okay,
Because knowing Gilroy, I know that magic users are much more dangerous.
sure. To get up in melee with him, he's going to get an attack of opportunity on you. Really bad. Yeah, miss.
What does it say? Not that
Yeah.
scary.
No.
And I just look at him and I just like, lunchtime's over. I need to come up with a better one.
Oh,
Leander.
That was perfect.
Oh, that's Leander.
So I'm going to use my reckless attack with my great weapon fighting.
Okay. Erlon has the most American lines.
So that's 18.
Yes.
So this is essentially 2d6 plus 16.
No.
Oh wow. 11 plus 6, 27 damage.
This kobold had 15 health. Your bonus was enough to get rid of him.
I told him lunchtime was over.
Yes, it very much so is. As you cut another one clean down. Which brings us to Melee.
I would kill for a 16.
In the back of the line, really doesn't like this
I'll
idea
just
to begin with.
Go to the front of the hallway so I can see down.
Okay. Peer on down.
Yeah, I'm going to use sharpshooter and try and hit the one that's in front of the stairs.
Okay.
Can I, with the stairs there, do I have a shot or do I need to
Mm,
I don't know how steep they are. If it's just a
Not
couple
steep
steps
enough to
or if
stop you.
it's-
It wouldn't give him full cover, and you ignore any other type of cover. So
Okay.
yeah, you'd be able to get a shot in. If there was any exposed area to him, you'd be able to shoot it.
11.
No. Twing.
Stairs were enough.
Stairs are hard.
Gilroy.
So Melee is on the ladder.
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically, I'm just kind of.
You could force your way past her.
I'm pretty good with acrobatics and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Is everything all right down there?
Well, you
I
have an
missed.
extra attack now, don't you?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm gonna do it
Is
again.
that- yes,
No.
no, wait, give me a second.
I forgot to go back to the other guy.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah,
crap.
yeah.
Alright.
We're all higher level than we thought we were. So you're gonna make that attack?
It was a 17.
Yeah.
I did it again.
Oh, yeah.
Just hold on.
We're taking it easy.
No worries. Let's just go.
I was gonna say, it's just kobolds.
Nice, man.
Wow.
21.
Yes, you delete that kobold from my game. The arrow through the back of the head leaves the area rather quiet, though you hear up the way what must be more of them repositioning and getting ready.
Is it my turn?
It is your.
I haven't gotten to go.
Did
I mean, I did cast a spell, but
With the echoing of the chamber, did they hear me yell lunchtime's over?
Yes. They know distinctly that their leader has been cut down and will retrieve no food today.
now they're extra mad.
And hungry.
Yeah.
All right, bring it on.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to lead the
gonna-
charge down that other way, so I guess I'll wait for Leander to. I'll follow Leander.
Okay. Leander.
I'll move in the tunnel.
I'll kind of slide. I still had a
1,
movement.
2,
I can slide to the.
3,
Get
4,
through.
5, 6. That's one move action, but you are in the tunnel.
Okay. Come on, Gilroy.
Alright, I clumsily make my way down the ladder.
5, 6.
Why'd you only give me...
You had to move an extra square.
For what?
Because you're
Run
behind me.
back.
Oh, I thought I was in front of Gilroy.
All right. So Gilroy, yeah, you guys move up. Are you gonna make it a full move action?
Yeah, I'll go.
So you just keep running.
Sure, me too. Although I get an extra 5 feet, so.
You didn't
Boom.
want to the
That's
charge.
where you get to, Gilroy.
No, I won't take
When
the
you
5
go around the
feet.
corner and you take 6 arrows to the chest because I was 5 feet behind you.
I won't.
Are you taking the lead though, or are you?
No,
actually-
no,
Not
no.
parallel.
I'll stay behind him.
Okay. All right. Which brings us from Leander to the kobolds. None of them run at you. You see them ready. Which brings us to Erlon.
I'm gonna use my full movement. I
Just
can
run
run.
on up.
Yeah, I can run up to 80 feet now.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can catch up.
1,
Real
2,
quick.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone has to just keep scooting past Melee to be left in the dust here.
So that's 50 feet.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right on up next to Leander.
Perfect.
Melee! What the hell's going on here?
And it takes 6 to get up to Gilroy. So.
Forming ranks.
I'm just gonna move behind Gilroy.
Okay. Gilroy.
I
The nature of single player tunnels.
I can't see anybody, right?
Not really from that position, no.
Alright, I will, scoot between Leander and Erlon.
Okay.
Can I see anybody now?
Yes, but you get 3 spears thrown at you.
Damn it!
Gilroy!
What was it, 8, 19.
Yes.
I was getting ready to hold my hand up and be like, wait, let me check.
There's gonna be 2 hits on that.
Alright.
You'll be taking 13 points of damage from those 2 spears.
Alright.
Pull Gilroy's robe back just a little bit.
Ever heard of Tucker's kobolds?
No.
This isn't as mean as Tucker's kobolds.
Can I cast Magic Missile as a higher level spell
Yes, you can. Just gets an extra dart.
for each level?
Yeah.
How many do I see?
C3. You might not really be able to. This guy's like in the shadows, but you can see him.
Alright. I will cast it as a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Get 5. So roll once multiplied by 5?
And tell me which ones are getting
2 and which one's getting
Yeah.
1.
You can't do.
So 4 plus 1, right?
Yes.
It's still plus 1. Alright, so 5. 2 to the guy right in front of me.
Boom.
2 to the other guy I see.
Boom.
And 1 to the last dude.
He's nearly dead. As these, yeah, you get hit with these 2 spears, one to the side, one to the shoulder, but you summon forth 5 of these arcane bolts, and you all witness from in this tunnel as he just sends them into that room, and the kobolds go flying into furniture, and the smashing of wood as these things are laid out, which brings us to Leander. Pushing on up.
I was gonna say, I suppose I'll move up then.
You got it.
Just
Make
one
your
left.
attack.
Nope. Second attack. Nope. Weird ass Matt rolling my dice for me. So no, this guy's slippery.
Okay, yes, he's gonna disengage and run away into this really tight-looking corridor here.
Great.
What are you guys gonna do? This area here,
I was gonna say, what's in this
a
room?
bit of a torture chamber.
Hmm.
Various instruments, and doesn't look nice.
I suppose we'll move up into the room.
Yes, you can regroup for sure.
Let's see.
If you'd like to throw a perception or anything,
Yeah.
Try and
Any
get
other
some
doors?
insight, yeah.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Hey! So we're all supposed to do that. Yeah. We're all supposed to celebrate.
What'd you guys get?
15.
It's always on
Can I roll an
perception rolls.
investigation check.
Sure, yeah.
19.
13.
All right, Leander. That heavy breathing over that way sounds very much so like a bull.
Great.
Through that small tunnel.
Yes.
Hmm.
That appears to be the only way forward. Erlon, your investigation leads you to finding scraps of clothing that suggest nobility is down here. Have been dragged through. There's a nice boot, a nice finely sewn together leather boot in the corner. And just putting 2 and 2 together, you figure that rich people are down here.
So I show that to everybody.
Okay.
I wonder if these are the nobles that were missing from the town.
Oh, God.
Perhaps. At least some of them, maybe.
It appears our only way.
Hold on, did you hear that?
No.
I think I may have heard that beast, the Minotaur. I'll have to be careful up ahead. What were you saying, Gilroy?
I will stick to the back, but it appears that this is our only way forward.
Yes. Well, have to
How are you guys gonna squeeze through there?
Do you want me to go first? And then Arlon?
He says as he approaches, first up in line.
I'll be right behind you, Leander.
Yes.
All right.
Then Gilroy, then Melee?
Yeah, sure.
The classic lineup.
Yep.
Okay, Leander, you squeeze on through. Throw me a dexterity saving throw.
That's not gonna be good. 5.
You throw me a constitution saving throw as some darts nail you in the legs.
No.
You're gonna be doing 4 points of damage, and you are poisoned.
Oh, Jesus.
What can get rid of poison?
A good constitution saving throw.
Well, then I guess we'll just stick here for now.
Yeah.
Let me catch my breath.
Yeah, just these little tiny holes in the side of the wall that unleash a small volley of pricking little needles. Found spaces between your plate and managed to get some poison in the veins. And you feel still pretty healthy, but everything is just a bit woozy. It's difficult to get a grasp on. You feel like this is not a combat-ready state.
I was just say, well, can we just take a second
Take a breather?
here? Yeah.
Sure. Throw your Constitution.
14.
That is enough to save, but as you take the breather, the Minotaur squeezes on through, battle axe in hand.
I wasn't necessarily meaning we stay in the, but not yet.
You knew you were coming. And he is going to charge at you, Leander.
Sure.
Make a strength saving throw.
All right. 21.
Nice. That is enough to hold out from being knocked prone, at least. But he is throwing a 22 to hit you.
Yes.
1. He's going to be doing 5 points of damage on that hit. Which I guess... I'm just going to roll the Minotaur for initiative, and we'll continue with. He is above Leander, but...
Great.
So that means that it's going to be Erlon first. Erlon, this is a horribly tight space for you to be able to use a greatsword in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to accidentally strike Leander.
No.
I can't use the bow very well either.
I'm going to pull him off for a second to give him a turn. There we go. Yeah, it's, you could ready to, like, swap with Leander, I suppose.
Well, I can move through them, can't I?
Yeah, you can push on through.
Because I have an idea. So, I call on Walter again, and I say, Walter, give me strength to hold this enemy back. And I rush forward.
Okay.
And I have Walter protect. Well, it won't happen until I hit or he hits
Right.
me. But I'm going to actually try to get on the other side of him and, like, grapple him. Like, put his arms like this.
Sure.
So that Leander can get in some pretty strong
Okay,
strikes.
so we'll make opposing strength checks. And are you raging?
I am
Yeah, then
raging.
you would be raging, so you have advantage.
Oh,
Ugh, a 1 and a 3.
yeah, that's awful. 9.
So, let's put the X of death on you. I'm throwing a natural 1. So you're 3 The slippery stone floor catches the Minotaur off guard. And you manage to actually, have a grapple on it. It's struggling, but you manage to retain it, and that brings us to melee.
Maybe you just didn't expect that.
Yeah, I just yell, I've got him!
I don't know what you can do,
I
Melee.
know that if you're kind of resting, like leaning against that wall on your right, maybe I can just lean around the corner and try to get a shot in. Is there enough room for that?
With the way that Erlon manages to keep hold of this thing, there's actually a decent chunk of space for you to be able to lean around and get a shank in if you want to. So you can push up and...
Plus with your sharpshooter, you can shoot.
Oh,
like,
you
around,
just
like, 3
shoot around
corners
the corner,
cover.
draw the bow back.
Yeah.
Alright, go for it.
Okay.
Oh, and you have advantage because he's being held.
Yeah.
Roll a second.
Yes.
Yeah, roll again, take the higher.
Oof, there
Nice,
we go.
that's a crit.
Is it a natural 20?
Natural
No.
19.
Oh, well, that's a crit for her anyway. Alright.
So,
Is this a sharpshooter shot?
yes it is.
Oh, no. Okay. So, double the damage on the dice, and then add your bonuses.
Okay. So,
Oh,
Why is it
so
18?
It's still 15.
15 damage?
You get another one.
No, and you can
Oh,
attack.
Use
So,
my
leading around the
sharpshooter
corner,
again.
a quick arrow overdrawn into
Do I
this
still
Minotaur's chest. Oh, yeah, you can throw him twice. Yeah,
14.
14 will not hit him. So the second one goes flying, bounces off the wall, but the first one pierces deeply into his chest as his arms are pinned behind him by Erlon, which brings us to Gilroy.
What's going on up there? There's really nowhere for me to move, is there?
No, it's particularly difficult for you to be able to get up through that.
Cast magic missiles.
Silas might be able to float above.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I suppose so. Alright.
Squeeze Silas on through there?
Yeah, above my and Maylee's and Leander's head.
My stock's brushing.
And
Alright.
I guess, I mean, I could use him as a conduit, right? So his eyes will focus into a beam of scorching. Oh, maybe not.
These first level spells through him or just cantrips?
I've used more than that in the past, but I would get your trepidation. Alright, in that case, how's that boy looking?
He's almost bloodied by that one hit.
I
Alright,
can't see.
Yeah, can't see health bars up there. Well,
suppose I'll throw a firebolt.
happens. Okay. You have advantage.
Okay. A 19.
Yes. Flat D10, baby.
5 damage.
Could be worse. No, which brings us to the Minotaur, which means we need some opposed strength saving throws. I'm not going to be happy if this Minotaur just rolls ones on every strength saving throw.
I still get advantage, right? Because I'm raging.
Yes. Beat a 12.
Yeah, 14.
Alright, that's his turn. Leander, throw a
Yeah!
Constitution saving throw.
I got you, buddy.
Or you can make attacks and stuff at disadvantage, and then
Bro, I thought I saved.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
Oh, right, advantage. I'll make this level 2 Divine Smite.
Rip to this Minotaur. Wow.
20.
Yes. Here I was, tight corridor. They'll never be able to slip past.
We were right to just be like, this is going to be a cakewalk, Sevelius. What are you talking about? Kobolds and humans? Like, you know. Not a great roll, but 17 damage.
Oh, yeah.
And then swing again.
Of course.
Second level Divine Smite. 24.
Yes.
8, 12, 16. 16 damage.
You killed him. Swings. Well played, my party. And Erlon, you can drop him. He goes limp as he has just suffered an onslaught of physical and magical attacks while you held him there.
I'm gonna search him.
Good job, Erlon!
He is
Thank
wearing
you.
roughly put together patchy leather armor. He has a battle axe, but it's of crude quality. You don't think there's anything more particularly worthy of looking at on this Minotaur. And you guys just squeeze on through to wrap up whatever the hell's down here.
I think so.
All right.
I have one rage left.
So you guys
we
make your
probably
way.
should.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break like right after this. You guys make your way, squeezing through that small corridor where you managed to defeat my Minotaur. And you see before you that there are a great many nobility and traveling merchants who seem to be locked up in kobold-sized cells. The single kobold, yeah, it's very cramped. The single kobold that outran you guys and escaped appears to have squeezed through some smaller tunnels and made his way, pipes and whatnot, and made his way completely out of the area, leaving only you and these men within this cell, or these cells, the men and women. And that is where we are going to take our break, and we'll pick up with your rescue, essentially.
Jeez.
Thank you so much to our couple new subscribers, new followers. Appreciate it so much. Helps
That's
support
awesome.
the show and our store. We are an affiliate, so for $5 a month, or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe to our channel, get some awesome emojis. We're thinking about some other cool rewards, so keep an eye out for that. Plus, you'll just be near and dear to our heart.
Definitely.
But we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Continue the adventure. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, guys. I really hope you're enjoying the episode. We'll see you in 5.